I need to press this button before anything else.
The following content is of an adult nature, and it may make some listeners blush, say, oh my God, or even cause offence. Feel free to turn the radio down in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about sex with Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
It is Dr. Nikki Goldstein. She is back in 2019, the sexologist. Hello, Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Got any New Year's resolutions? Producer Jax is to have sex with more people.
Mine was actually just to learn how to play golf. I know, that's really boring.
Fun.
But I'm like, I know everybody makes these New Year's resolutions that they don't keep. And the one thing that I have been wanting to do and been saying every year I would do it is to actually go and try if I could play golf.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable this year.
Well, look, some people's resolutions, like producer Jack, is one sort of thing, and yours is to improve in your golf swing.
Let me clarify. My New Year's resolution is not to have sex with more people. It's just to have more sex.
Oh.
So I might just find
more
one
sex.
person that I can have lots of sex
Oh,
with.
right. Oh, I thought he wanted to be just a big raging whore. My apologies,
That's what it
producer
sounds
Jack.
like.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking for the last week. I thought, well, they're
Is
both.
there like a number? Is there like something that we're holding as the holy grail number per week, or is it just?
I think
more
like
sex?
once a week would be good, and it would be an improvement.
Oh, God. Oh,
Oh no!
God.
Oh no!
Let's-
That's like Danny's bad week.
Let's not even ask what a bad week for producer Jack is. Anyway, Dr. Nikki Goldstein, thank you for joining us. Of course, you do have the podcast Sex and Life on Podcast One, and you are a sexologist. People can ring in on 131060 with their awkward sex questions as well. You can remain anonymous, but you want to chat about something. And the reason I had to play that warning button before was because it's about the anus.
It's a good one, and this is more, I think, a rant of frustration when I read this article that's kind of doing the rounds about young teens and young adults having all these anal injuries.
Oh, are
In
you,
particular-
sorry, are you referring to the Daily Mail article I've got here? Australia's online porn horror. Girl is forced to get a colostomy bag after rough group sex as an increasing number of female high school students suffer serious injuries from their porn-addicted boyfriends.
That's exactly right.
Sounds about right.
Exactly right. But we see this type of article again and again and again. Now, this is the first one I've seen that's really come out boldly about a girl with a colostomy bag, which let's look at this as an extreme situation. And we were talking about anal sex in that group sex in that particular article. But the frustration was that, and this is no offence to Daily Mail because I do like the Daily Mail, the entire article was really pointing the finger at porn as the thing to blame. These porn-obsessed boyfriends and, porn is getting kinkier and kinkier and it's to blame. My frustration is it's not entirely porn. The problem is that we should actually be talking about anal more. We should be talking about anal in porn and how these porn stars actually get those large objects in their anus and how they actually deal with it and the preparation involved, and even go further and start to talk to teens and young adults about, well, how do you do anal sex that is safe? How do you warm up that particular part of your body? Where are you going to get into trouble? What do you do if you feel pain? We laugh about it a lot because we talk about the anus and potential things that can happen down there. But when you read articles like this, for me, it's a big alert to go, actually, we need to be talking about anal sex a lot more.
Well, I think I blame society from 25 years ago on making sex so taboo as to why the pornographic juggernaut has just exploded. I think that's why in society we have such a need for getting that fix at 1 a.m. in the morning on Pornhub, is because for so long you were starved of it. There may not have been a need if everyone just keeps talking about and shaking their jelly around. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a bosom. Sorry, side note. Yeah, I mean, well, doesn't everyone know that you just need to warm that up? I mean, sure. Who's watching the porn? What 16-year-old cretin's going, oh, yeah. Look, it doesn't look like this needs any foreplay at all, this old back passage here. What an internal brown hole. I don't think is it really working like that? Is there that much miseducation in the schools? In the school system, Dr. Nikki?
There is, because they're not talking about anal. What they're focusing on is how not to get pregnant, how not to contract an STI, periods, our body image. There really isn't a lot of room in the syllabus to be talking about pleasurable sex. So anal sex is not always something that's given a high priority. Now, the problem is when there's that lack of sex education and when teenagers go and watch porn and they don't have the level of, let's say, experience instead of education around what porn is, what its intent is. They don't have the knowledge base that it is fake, like, say, you and I do. So they look at that and they think, well, if they can do it, because it looks real, we know that it's not some computer tech imagery that's putting the object in the film. It is real. It's happening. So we see those people and we think, well, if they can do it, why can't I? And they look at that and they compare themselves. And for a lot of women too, they think, well, why do I find it so painful when she looks like she's actually enjoying it? We're not having those conversations at a younger age around porn and anal sex. And specifically, we need to be talking to teenagers about porn and how these particular acts are done, the intent of porn and how it is fake. Once you know that there are days preparation for a heavy anal sex scene, it starts to allow you to look at that content and go, okay, that might be fun for them, but I know I physically can't do that unless I'm going to also prepare myself for days before anal sex.
Porn's not real, kids, especially that back passage stuff. They take days, weeks, months, if not years to prepare for those scenes. 13, 10, 60. We are breaking the fourth wall and doing exactly what Dr. Nikki Goldstein is suggesting by talking more about sex, lowering the stigma. If you've got a sex question, give us a bell right now. You're going to stick around, Dr. Nikki, you can answer them, because otherwise it'll just be me using my knowledge, going back through my back dossier, trying to figure things out. All right, Dr. Nikki, she's going to stick around, the sexologist. If you've got a question, you can remain anonymous or put yourself out there. 13 10 60, we'll get him on the air next. Mark Ronson, Miley Cyrus, Nothing Breaks Like a Heart. It plays on the Danny Lakey Late Show. 13 10 60 if you've got an interesting sex question for Dr. Nikki.
The following content is of an adult nature, and it may make some listeners blush, say, oh my God, or even cause offence. Feel free to turn the radio down in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about sex with Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
You've got to do that, Dr. Nikki Goldstein. You just never know what kind of tight ass, pardon the pun, is listening out there and is just ready to get offended. They've been warned. Anything now is just them being peeping Tom.
Turn it up.
13 10 60, we did put the call out. Do you have a sex question for Dr. Nikki Goldstein? Keeping in mind that everyone is having sex and not everyone is talking about it. Doesn't make any sense to me. We got Lisa in Hobart. Hello.
Hello, I'm back again. My question is, how do you prepare? You're talking about days' worth of preparation? Please explain.
Please explain. I find just a couple of minutes does the trick.
In a nutshell, preparing for anal sex, there's a few different steps. So we'll try to get through a few of them. For some people, they actually do like to do things like anal douching. So making sure that they do feel clean. So for a lot of people, when they feel like there might be a little bit of appearance of poo particles, they get very anxious and they tend to get very tense down there. For a lot of people, also depending on the type of anal sex that you're having, they feel a lot more comfortable when their bowels are clean. So that's kind of the first preparation, but not always necessary. Sometimes having a nice hot shower, making sure that you feel physically clean down there is enough for some people to relax. Thank you for the noise effect.
That's what I'm here for. Thank you.
Then it's about actually warming up a particular type of the body. So by that I mean, starting off with something like a finger, right? Getting used to the sensation of actually having something inserted, so giving those muscles a chance also to get used to it as well. Something like a smaller butt plug, which is what they actually do use in porn, but they don't use smaller ones. They obviously get up to a decent size, can help as well just to stretch the muscles out. There's also this element of being able to help somebody relax. If you can stay relaxed and stay calm, that's where anal sex will be much more pleasurable and easy. The problem is when people are in situations where it is forced on them, and this is what we're seeing for a lot of teenagers, is when there is this expectation to perform like they do in porn, it can be very traumatic for somebody on an emotional level as well. the last thing I'm going to tell you is lube, 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 lube. It's very important to be using a lube that is thick in texture, so something that is silicone-based, because the anus doesn't have a self-wetness like, say, the vaginal canal. So it's really important to make sure things are sliding and not tearing, because anal tears is one area.
Sorry, that's what I'm here for. I'm getting
The lube
bored.
reveal.
I'm getting bored. Getting bored. Anyway, lots of lube. I understand. I
Lots
understand.
of lube.
Yeah.
We want things to slide
Yeah.
and not tear.
Got it, guys, got it. It's like a poo in reverse. I understand. Let's move on to Julie in Melbourne on 131060. Hello.
Hello. Dilemma. Been married for 8 years. Husband and I having issues. Asked him to leave. Long story short, haven't had sex for a long time. Thinking about going to ex-husband. 100% agree with you, Lakey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's the answer as it is. I mean, I just want to clarify, are you officially done with the ex-husband?
I am. He's not.
Okay, do not go back. Right? There are a lot of avenues out there, just even for casual sex, that if that's all you're after at the moment, I would be exploring those and getting out there. Don't go back and start playing with fire, because if he's not completely over it as well, then you might be sending mixed messages to him about what you actually want continuing on with life. And also to start fresh, go and explore somebody that is new and different and have fun. Leave the past in the past and go and explore a sexual future.
That is a good point. There's not just two men out there. There's a whole plethora, Jules. Oh, well, out there to explore.
What you know as well.
All right, cool. Thank you, Julie, for the call. Thank you, Dr. Nikki Goldstein, as well. Back in 2019, business as usual with you. You should
Started off with a good one.
You should see producer Jack and producer Alex and that giggling like schoolgirls they were when you're talking about butt plugs. I'm just in here trying to have a serious
How many times do
conversation.
you reckon I said anal on this segment?
7. I've got a tally.
I believe it was the finger comment that made us lol.
Whatever it was out there, it's just immature by you two, is what it was.
Exactly.
Here we are having
Obviously
serious
not
discussions.
Having effective anal sex.
Exactly.
That's 13, 30, 32.